Hey, hockey fans. March 2nd, there was only 2 games on. We'll review those scores quickly, and then we'll get on to the picks for March 3rd, Tuesday. There's 10 games. March 2nd, we had Colorado take on Detroit. I kind of thought it was going to be a bit of a higher scoring game. Colorado ended up winning 2-1 over Detroit. That was the final, so great 7th win for Colorado. I got the pick right, but I didn't get my -1.5 bet on that one, but that's all right. Edmonton, Nashville, lots of goals here. Edmonton started off and then looked like Nashville was going to put a push when they got 2 goals in like 14 seconds, but then Edmonton ran away. Draisaitl played awesome. I think he got 4 goals. Final was 8-3 for Edmonton. So anyway, I got both my picks right, which was great. Best bets at 7-6, current 1-game winning streak, 2-0 for the day. And yeah, I did not get my Colorado -1.5, but I did get my Edmonton money line and the over on that game. So not a bad day overall. March 3rd, like I said, there's 10 games, so we'll get right into them. Montreal against the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders 3-5-2 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Currently in a wild card position. Varlamov is probable in net for the Islanders, and their last game was when they got beat up by Boston 4-0. Montreal was also 3-5-2 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Price probable in net for Montreal. Their last game was an overtime victory, 4-3 over Carolina. Canadians lead the season series 1-0. They won 4-2 back in December. Islanders have been a better home team than a road team. And I think with Pajou settling in more and kind of getting more familiar with how things work, I just see the Islanders handling Montreal quite easily at home here. First pick, Islanders to beat Montreal. I'm also probably going to look at the puck line, -1.5 on that game at +1. I think it's like I can get it at 180 right now. +180. Anyway, second game, St. Louis against the New York Rangers. New York Rangers 7-3-0 in their last 10, current 2-game losing streak. 4 points behind the Islanders and Columbus for a wild card position. Gorgiev has been confirmed in net for the Rangers. Their last game was a loss to the Flyers 5-3. St. Louis 7-2-1 in their last 10, 7-game winning streak. First in the Central, Binnington probable in net, and their last game was when they edged over Dallas 4-3 in a shootout. The Blues won the first time these teams played, 5-2 in January. I think the Rangers are going to continue to struggle with some of these injuries they're dealing with, and it's unfortunate it's happening at this time of the year because, like myself, I think a lot of people were really hoping the Rangers might make the playoffs, and I'm starting to lose faith that will happen. Anyway, the Rangers do have a good road record against an opponent in the Western Conference. They're 5-0 straight up. But with the injuries, I just see St. Louis getting win number 8. So my second pick, St. Louis to beat the Rangers. I'm also going to look at the money line, -145 in St. Louis there. Third game, Ottawa against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 3-6-1 in their last 10, current 6-game losing streak. Third in the Metropolitan still. Jari is probable in net, and their last game was a loss against New Jersey, 5-0. Against Ottawa, 5-4-1, current 2-game winning streak. Craig Anderson has been confirmed in net for Ottawa. The last game Ottawa played was a 4-3 victory in a shootout over Detroit. Before Detroit game, Ottawa beat Vancouver 5-2. Pittsburgh leads the season series 1-0 with a 5-2 win in December. Ottawa is 0-7 in their last 7 games when playing on the road against Pittsburgh. And yet I see value in Ottawa. I think you can look at Ottawa, and if you don't feel like they're going to outright win, I'd look at the +1.5 money line, which pays an even 100. But I said I wouldn't bet on Pittsburgh again, and I can't. I'm not going to. And I do think there's a chance Ottawa pulls out a win here. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to solve their problems in one game. And yeah, again, if you don't feel confident with straight up Ottawa, look at the +1.5. I think there's some value. Anyway, third pick, Ottawa to beat Pittsburgh. Fourth game, Boston against Tampa. Tampa 6-4-0, current 1-game winning streak. Second in the Atlantic, and Vasilevsky is probable in net for Tampa. Their last game was a 4-3 win over Calgary. Boston 7-3-0, current 2-game winning streak. First in the Atlantic, Rask has been confirmed in net for Boston. Their last game was a 4-0 against the Islanders. The Lightning lead the season series 2-0. They won 4-3 in a shootout in October in Boston and 3-2 in December in Tampa. Boston are 1-9 straight up in their last 10 games against Tampa. I know Stamkos is out, and they've got a couple injuries they're dealing with, but I think Tampa after breaking that little losing streak, getting a win under their belt, and if you're going to beat Boston, it's going to be on the road. I'm taking Tampa. I'm taking Tampa, the home team, to beat Boston for my fourth pick. Fifth game, Nashville against Minnesota. Minnesota 6-3-1, current one-game losing streak, 1 point behind Nashville. Staylock is probable, but for some reason, I think Dubnyk might play. I'm not sure. Nashville 6-3-1 in their last 10, current two-game losing streak. Three-way tie for that second wild card position. Saros has been confirmed in net, who actually had to take over for Rene in the game against Edmonton, where they lost 8-3. That was their last game. Predators have won both games these teams have played, 5-2 in October and 4-0 in October. You know what? If you watch that Edmonton-Nashville game, and if you by chance had the chance to watch the Minnesota-Washington game, I know both these teams that are playing both lost, but very clear, Minnesota, much better team than Nashville. Yeah, I see Minnesota handling Nashville very easily in Minnesota. Fifth pick, Minnesota over Nashville. Sixth game, Buffalo against Winnipeg. Winnipeg 4-5-1 last 10, current one-game losing streak. They're part of that three-way tie for the second wild card position. Hellebuyck is probable in net for Winnipeg, and their last game was a loss to Edmonton 3-2, which was a good game. Against Buffalo 5-5-0, current three-game losing streak. Hutton is probable in net, and their last game was a 5-2 loss to Arizona. The Sabres won the only game these teams have played, 2-1 earlier in February. Winnipeg are 13-5 straight up in their last 18 games when playing at home against Buffalo. Morrissey is back, and possibly Laney as well. Winnipeg's too strong a team to lose. They wanted to. Winnipeg to beat Buffalo, Canadian team at home for the sixth pick. Seventh game, Anaheim against Chicago. Chicago in their last 10, they're 4-6-0. Current two-game winning streak. Crawford is probable in net. Their last game was a 3-2 shootout victory over Florida. Anaheim 4-5-1, current one-game losing streak. Gibson is probable in net for Anaheim, and their last game was a loss to New Jersey where they got blanked 3-0. Blackhawks will look to sweep this series. They lead 2-0. They won 3-2 in November and a 4-2 victory in January. Chicago's been scoring goals. They've scored 13 goals in the last 3 games, and if you look at those 13 goals, 10 of them were against Tampa and St. Louis. So there's some good chemistry going on there, and I think Anaheim's kind of folded for the year. I'm taking Chicago 7th pick over Anaheim. Eighth game, Edmonton against Dallas. Dallas 6-2-2 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. Third in the Central. Bishop is probable in net for Dallas. Their last game was a 4-3 loss to St. Louis in a shootout. Edmonton 5-3-2 in their last 10, 2-game winning streak. Second in the Pacific, and Koskinen is probable in net for Edmonton. Their last game was a win over Nashville 8-3. Game apiece in this series. Stars 5-4 in November. Oilers 2-1 in December. Oilers didn't have to work very hard when they played Nashville, and if you watch that game, I mean, they were having fun. I know when you're scoring goals like that, everyone's laughing and having a great time, and they were. I just see them carrying that energy into Dallas and beating Dallas. I'm going to take another Canadian team here, visiting team this time, Edmonton to beat Dallas for my 8th pick. 9th game, New Jersey against Vegas. Vegas 8-2-0, current one-game losing streak. First in the Pacific, and Lanier has been confirmed in net for Vegas. Their last game was a 4-1 loss to the Los Angeles last-place Kings. Playing New Jersey. New Jersey 6-2-2, current one-game winning streak. Blackwood is probable in net for New Jersey. Their last game was a 3-0 win over Anaheim. Golden Knights lead the season series with a 4-3 win in December. You know, the question is how's Vegas going to react to that loss against the Kings? I mean, I'm sure they walked away from that hanging their heads. I'm sure New Jersey's looking at it going, if the LA Kings can beat them, we can beat them. And I think they're going to put up a fight. It might be a game where you look at them at +1.5. I'm not sure. I'm going to pick them. I'm going to pick New Jersey to upset Vegas. I know that's a big upset, but we'll see. 10th game, we've got last game. 10th game, Toronto against San Jose. San Jose 4-6-0, current 2-game winning streak. Jones has been confirmed in net for San Jose. Last game, San Jose, they blanked Pittsburgh 5-0. Toronto 6-4-0, current 3-game winning streak. Campbell has been confirmed in net for Toronto. And the last game Toronto played was when they doubled up Vancouver 4-2. The Leafs lead the season series 1-0 with a 4-1 win back in October. History shows the advantage to San Jose, as Toronto has only won 1 in the last 6 when being on the road playing against San Jose. Toronto is, however, 4-1 in their last 5 straight up. I'm actually going to look at Toronto here. I'm going to take Toronto, and I'm going to look at... I'm actually going to look at the puck line -1.5 at +160. I'm even going to make Toronto my best bet game. So we'll just review those picks quick. I'm taking the Islanders to beat Montreal. I'm taking St. Louis to beat the Rangers. I'm taking Ottawa to beat Pittsburgh. I'm taking Tampa to beat Boston. Minnesota to beat Nashville. Winnipeg to beat Buffalo. Chicago to beat Anaheim. Edmonton to beat Dallas. New Jersey to beat Vegas. And Toronto to beat San Jose. And the Toronto game, I'm making my best bet. The bets that I'm going to lay for tomorrow, I'm taking the Islanders puck line -1.5 at +180. I'm taking the Ottawa Senators puck line +1.5. The Islanders was -1.5, just to be clear. Senators puck line +1.5 at an even 100. I'm going to take the Blues money line at -145. I'm going to take the Wild puck line -1.5 at +190. And I'm going to look at the Leafs puck line -1.5 at +160. Individual bets, and I'll parlay that for fun. Anyway, hope everyone had a great Monday and enjoy Tuesday hockey. Good luck with your picks, and thanks for watching.